International Paper announced it is shutting down multiple facilities across the country, including the mill in Campti, Louisiana, that is in Natchitoches Parish. Joining me this morning to talk about the impact of the closure is Louisiana State Representative Jack McFarland. Good morning.
Good morning, Stephen.
Yeah, so I talked to the company yesterday. They said it's about 450 employees impacted at that specific mill in Campti. I'm sure you've talked to some of them. What are you hearing right now?
A lot of disappointment. More than 200 of those employees live in my district. Many that have reached out to me was just in complete shock that they didn't see this coming. There had been no forewarning, no messaging. They were led to believe that the mill was producing well, it was profitable. International Paper as a whole had an $18 billion net profit last year. This mill was a profitable mill. Had a great safety record, which is a tribute to the men and women that work there. So they're just really disappointed at the way it went down and just no advance warning.
I mean, this could have a trickle effect in the community. When you're talking about a small parish and a small community like Campti and Natchitoches Parish, hundreds of jobs lost is a big deal. I mean, what is that going to mean for the economy in the area?
It'll be significant. It's the millions of dollars, obviously, in tax revenue that goes to Natchitoches Parish as a whole, also the community of Campti. It's the impact from the revenue from those employees as they no longer have those jobs, which were very good paying jobs that spent money in the Natchitoches community and around surrounding areas. Also, the indirect jobs, Stephen. Obviously, I'm in the logging business. That's going to affect around 1,000 more individuals, the indirect jobs. So the effects of this will be widespread and will be long lasting. We do live in a resilient community. People will pick up and move on. Louisiana Workforce Commission, I've spoken to Secretary Susie Schwan. They have a rapid response team already in place and ready to go to work with these employees that are being laid off to develop new skills, workforce training, help them find other jobs. So the state's ready to move, but it's still going to be a challenge because you have employees that's been there for 30 years. 35 years, and they're getting to the end of their workforce life and now potentially having to be retrained and begin a new skill.
So I'm kind of curious from a logger's perspective, kind of tell people watching right now what that would mean, what would change differently for a logger with this plant now closed if you are doing business in that area.
So what will happen is we will have to deliver our wood fiber to other markets. Those markets are further, it extends further. That means less dollars for the landowner. Often we have private landowners in Louisiana. Timber is the #1 agricultural product in the state. It contributes over $1 billion annually to the state's revenue. And when you take a mill closure like this, those private landowners who have invested in growing trees, now they will get less for their trees because that market is gone, and to deliver those same trees, we have to go further. That will increase backup times and waiting times at these other mills to get unloaded. It's just a trickle-down effect that often the public's not aware of how the process works when you deliver timber to a mill, but it's going to be felt. I've had a lot of contractors, logging contractors, reach out to me with concerns. A lot of the private landowners, big landowners, it's just a very uncomfortable feeling yesterday and today, waking up knowing that that's going to happen, and it's going to happen really quick. It's going to be in less than 2 months. It's gone.
I know there's only so much you can do with a private business, but is there anything as a state representative that you're going to be pushing for or looking into to help these workers or to help bring business back?
Yes, beyond just the workforce training that we're going to be offering from the state and our rapid response team, Governor Landry and I spoke yesterday, as well as LED, our Economic Development Director, Susan Burgess. We spoke yesterday. There have been some other opportunities and inquiries within our region about utilizing timber for other processes. Now what this does is this just highlights those other opportunities. We have been in conversations with companies already that were looking at our region to utilize the wood fiber, because we are the wood fiber basket, not just of Louisiana, but of the country here in our area. And so there are companies looking to come here. I think this just expedites and puts a little more emphasis on our efforts as a state to work with these companies that are willing to come here and invest.
Well, State Representative Jack McFarland, thanks so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yes, sir.